Welcome back to Nation of Glory, the place where stories of resilience, heart, and triumph come alive. Today, we're diving deep into the journey of a woman who turned dreams into destiny, who walked through struggle, heartbreak, and doubt, only to emerge as one of the most beloved stars in the world of professional wrestling. This is the story of Jonah Jean Daddio, known across the globe as Liv Morgan. Liv's story isn't just about wrestling. It's about survival. It's about hope. And it's about proving that no matter where you come from, if you carry a fire inside you, you can light up the world. Born on June 8, 1994, in Paramus, New Jersey, Jonah grew up in Elmwood Park. Her early life wasn't paved with luxury or ease. Her father passed away when she was just 4 years old, leaving her mother to raise 6 children on her own. Imagine that: one woman, 6 kids, and a life full of challenges. For Jonah, who was the youngest daughter, those early years shaped her toughness. She learned what it meant to struggle, but also what it meant to fight, to hold on, and to never stop dreaming. She often spoke about how wrestling was an escape. As a little girl, she watched WWE on television with her siblings. It wasn't just entertainment, it was inspiration. The larger-than-life superstars, the battles in the ring, the stories of underdogs rising to the top, it spoke to her soul. She would imitate moves on a trampoline in her backyard, pretending she was one of those stars she admired. For Jonah, wrestling wasn't just a dream, it was therapy, a place where she could channel her emotions and feel powerful. But dreams are fragile when life is heavy. Growing up without a father, seeing her mother carry the weight of the world, Jonah understood responsibility earlier than most kids. She worked jobs to help, she faced bullies, and she wrestled with doubt. People often told her that the odds were against her. But she refused to believe that life had already written her story. Before she ever set foot in a WWE ring, Jonah worked at Hooters to make ends meet. To some, it was just a job. But for her, it was another lesson in humility, grit, and ambition. She was determined that her life would be bigger than any paycheck, bigger than what the world expected of her. In 2014, fate came knocking. WWE was holding tryouts, and Jonah saw her chance. She wasn't trained, she wasn't polished, but she had heart. She had the kind of energy you can't fake, the energy of someone hungry, desperate to change their life. She signed with WWE's developmental brand, NXT, and that's where her story as Liv Morgan began. Liv wasn't handed success. At first, she was just another name, another face in the sea of aspiring wrestlers. She had to fight for recognition. She had to learn the craft, the storytelling, the athleticism. She faced losses, she stumbled, she was overlooked. But here's the thing: Liv never quit. She took every fall as fuel, every setback as a setup for a comeback. Fans started noticing something different about her. She wasn't the tallest, she wasn't the strongest, but she had a spark. That smile, that energy, that resilience, it connected. People saw their own struggles in her. She became relatable, the girl who wouldn't stop trying no matter how many times she was knocked down. Her run in NXT eventually led her to WWE's main roster in 2017 as part of a group called the Riot Squad, alongside Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan. The trio became known for chaos, rebellion, and heart. But more than that, it gave Liv a chance to shine on a bigger stage. She was no longer just a dreamer, she was living the dream, step by step. Still, her path wasn't smooth. The Riot Squad eventually split, Ruby and Sarah were released, and Liv had to figure out who she was as a solo competitor. Those moments were scary. In WWE, when groups break apart, many careers fade. But not Liv's. She turned that moment into a rebirth. She transformed herself not just in the ring, but in spirit. She embraced being authentic, showing fans her true self, a mix of toughness and vulnerability. She wasn't afraid to admit that she was still growing, still learning. That honesty made fans fall in love with her even more. Her matches grew stronger. Her promos improved. And then came the breakthrough. In 2022, at Money in the Bank, Liv Morgan climbed that ladder, unhooked the briefcase, and secured her future. The crowd erupted, because everyone knew this was more than a win, it was the payoff of years of struggle. But the night wasn't done. Later that same evening, she cashed in her contract on Ronda Rousey and became the SmackDown Women's Champion. The arena exploded. Fans cried. Liv cried. It wasn't just about the title, it was about the story. The girl from Elmwood Park, who wrestled on trampolines, who lost her father too soon, who worked jobs to survive, who was doubted and dismissed, was now the champion of the world. That moment wasn't just Liv's, it belonged to everyone who ever felt like an underdog. It belonged to every fan who believed in her. And that's why her story hits so deeply. It's real. It's human. It's all of us. Her reign wasn't the longest, but it was powerful. She carried that title with pride, defending it with everything she had. Even after losing it, the respect she earned never left. Fans continued to cheer for her, continued to believe in her, because she had proven herself. Today, Liv Morgan is part of the Judgment Day on Raw, a group that thrives on dominance and power. She has reinvented herself yet again, proving that she's not afraid to evolve, to explore new layers of her character, and to keep pushing forward. But behind the character, behind the lights and cameras, Liv remains that girl from New Jersey, who still carries her father's memory, her mother's strength, and her own unbreakable will. She is living proof that no matter where you start, you can rise. Fans don't just see her as a wrestler, they see her as hope. She represents the fight inside all of us, the reminder that dreams can come true if you're willing to bleed for them, cry for them, and never let them die. As her journey continues, one thing is certain: Liv Morgan's story is far from over. Every time she steps into that ring, she brings her past, her pain, her joy, and her passion with her. And every time the crowd chants her name, it's proof that her story has touched hearts across the world. So when you see Liv Morgan raise her hand in victory, know that you're not just watching a wrestler, you're watching a survivor, a dreamer, and a warrior who turned her life into inspiration. And that's why we celebrate her here on Nation of Glory. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the life of Liv Morgan. If her story inspired you today, don't forget to subscribe to Nation of Glory, hit that like button, and share this video with friends who believe in chasing dreams. Your support helps us bring more stories of hope and triumph to light. Until next time, this is Nation of Glory, signing off with gratitude. Stay strong, stay inspired, and never stop fighting for your dreams.